The East Brunswick Park Chateau recently hosted the East Brunswick Regional Chamber of Commerce luncheon as local business owners and lawmakers from the county came together for a networking event and presentations from Mayor Brad Cohen and Freeholder Ken Armwood.
So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. For those who I have not yet been fortunate enough to meet, my name is Frank Bailey. I'm the president of the newly formed East Brunswick Regional Chamber of Commerce. You can see from the attendance that we have today that we've got some pretty explosive growth. As I was talking to Assemblywoman Pinkin as she walked in today, she said it's obvious that revitalization of the chamber was necessary, and I think that is definitely demonstrated by today's attendance. We've got great synergy with the local government. We are creating amazing business partnerships. And one of the final planning meetings that I was involved in right before today's event, I was actually in the Temperature Pro office with Lamia for just some discussion about some sponsorship things, and in the room right behind that were two other chamber members doing business together, which was incredible for me to see. Totally unprompted, wasn't there because I was there. That was just the flow of their business, and that was really, really nice to see the way people are coming together and utilizing one another, taking advantage of the networking opportunities, and ultimately making East Brunswick and the surrounding area the best it could possibly be.
One of the best ways to boost our local economy is to think globally. Middlesex County has a unique story to tell, one that is rich in history and shaped by innovation and collaboration. We've begun telling this story, our story, through a series of marketing campaigns that focus on four key themes: where history meets innovation, where art meets culture, where education meets opportunity, and where diversity meets collaboration. Our new initiative is helping us to accomplish three things: promote awareness of the county, build on the countless opportunities that Middlesex County offers to businesses, tourists, and neighboring areas, and lastly, raise the quality of life for all those who call Middlesex County home. We work with our local businesses and private sector partners to add jobs and ensure that they have the highly skilled and educated workforce they need to thrive. We're moving in a new direction. We're perfectly situated in New Jersey and in this country. We are next to the largest and busiest railroad line in the United States of America, the Northeast Corridor line from Boston to Washington, D.C. We have both the Garden State Parkway, the Turnpike right here in our area. We have the most stops between Trenton to New York here on that railroad line. We are the home to the state university, Rutgers University. There is no reason why we shouldn't be promoting the greatness that Middlesex County offers to the residents and to businesses looking to relocate here. And at the heart of it, East Brunswick will always be a part of that greatness that we seek.
One of the biggest things we did this past year was reestablish the East Brunswick Chamber of Commerce. Now, this was done to energize and organize our business community, and we could see that it has had that outcome, and they need to be a critical partner with the township. They absolutely do. We need to keep our businesses, be receptive to their needs as a government, and make sure that we provide all the help that they need in order for them to thrive. And an active, engaged, and excited business community is the best recipe for us to attract new businesses back to East Brunswick. That's the goal. The areas, like I said, that we're looking to redevelop need to be done in one idea of what that's going to look like. You can't develop one area and then do something there without thoughts about how the whole thing should look like. Ultimately, though, we want to start by providing to the development world our vision of what that plan's going to be. And again, we're looking at mixed-use type of communities where you have the ability to live, work, and play. This type of community where you have the wide streets, the ability to have open markets in the middle, commercial restaurants and businesses on the ground floor with residences and apartments above, where you park from behind and you have sort of a real nightlife and downtown type of atmosphere, is what we're looking to develop in the area that presently occupies Lomans. That would be, the main street would occur throughout that Lomans Plaza with the mixture of commercial space and housing through apartments or possibly some for sale units. And then sort of right where you see the traffic circle, which would cost us an arm and a leg to remove, so it will have to remain. But we're looking to put in that zone a hotel. A hotel that brings in over 100 rooms automatically offers to the township another liquor license. And the ability to have a liquor license, it changes the ability for us to turn that town into something that would attract people here and businesses and restaurants to want to be in the township. So that would be more where the hotel would be located, and then off to the right where we presently have the Gap and the Wiz, that would be converted more into townhomes and brownstones and duplexes where people can either rent or own apartment space. Layered on top of all of these plans is the fact that the state recognizes that there is an overwhelming need to provide affordable housing to individuals in this state who really cannot afford to get by. We're also looking to put a parking deck on the corner of Ruth Street and Route 18. If we're going to have approximately 700 to 800 people living on the units on the Route 18 corridor and another 500 on the 110 Tices, these people need the ability to get in and out of the city and to be able to commute. And the likelihood of them just walking across the street, which is Route 18, not an easy place to cross, and going to the station that we operate on near the Walmart site is very unlikely. So we already have a 2-year wait for parking in the 2 decks that we operate. So if you're going to park more people in this area and have them want the ability to get in and out of the city, we will absolutely need a third transportation center, one that can service those individuals that need to commute in and out of the city. And if you want people to come into the area and dine and shop, they need a place to park. On the 110 Tices property, which is the one, like I said, behind Dick's Sporting Goods. That property is individually owned by one developer. I believe very strongly that that's going to be the first area for us to work on, since it's one developer that we have to negotiate with. Most of the units there are going to be for commercial towards the front that borders on Tices, and then there's going to be housing units for a good portion of the center. Mixture of apartments, duplexes, brownstones, and townhomes. If we're going to ask residents to buy into the option of having more units in these type of spaces, we obviously need to think about traffic patterns. We obviously need to think about all of these issues that are going to impact people's ability to move around. But the point of all of this is to give you a vision for what this could look like. The 110 Tices property is going to have to, even though that's the easiest for them, for the developers to work on, and it's probably the area we're going to work on first, but you have to have a vision for how this whole area is going to look. It's not 3 separate units that we're building, it's one community. The boulevard that goes down the center of that should mimic the boulevard that we're going to have out on Lomans. It needs to be coordinated. And if we're going to ask residents to buy into the idea of more people living in a more condensed area, we have to give something back to the residents, things that they really want. Our vision for that property is towards the back. You could see off to the left that sort of white rectangle is our version of a hockey rink that we'd like to have here in East Brunswick. It's one of the few things, a lot of towns around us have them, East Brunswick has not. My son played hockey. He never played with any team in East Brunswick. We had to go around to South Brunswick and to Old Bridge and to Monroe and other places that have rinks. We don't. So I think that the idea of intermixing things that the township could use while trying to give the developers an opportunity to make money. I don't have a problem with them making money. Make as much as you want. But you have to build what the township needs and meets the needs of the community that we have here, and not just what you want to build. And so that's a negotiation which we're ready and anxious to have. It has to meet the needs of everybody here in the township, and you all need to be an integral part of making sure that the vision that we go out to the table with is something that everybody wants. So again, thanks every one of you for coming here today. I'm thrilled that we see such an active and engaged business community, and I challenge you to do even more next year. Thank you.